I want to squeeze in a comment on this as well. Labour now set to phase in fuel duty rises from September, which ends that 5p per litre cut that has been frozen for years, frankly, marking the first increase in more than a decade, prompting pressure on Sir Keir Starmer for a possible U-turn, as critics warn motorists will be hit at the pump. Let's speak with William Yarwood, Media Campaign Manager at the Taxpayers Alliance. William, good afternoon to you. What I find interesting about this is I think I've seen 4 different speeches by Keir Starmer in the last week talking about how we've turned a corner. 2026 is time for more money in your pocket. Happy days are on the horizon. And then we get hit with this kind of nonsense.
Yeah, absolutely, Ian. More money in our pocket, more like more money in Keir Starmer and Rachel Reeves's pockets, right? I mean, this is just completely disgraceful. You know, they ruled out fuel duty hikes in their first budget and in the last budget, which was welcome. But now they're cynically likely to raise it again in September. And let's just remember what fuel duty is. Many people think fuel duty is just a simple tax on petrol. It isn't. It's a tax on jobs. It's a tax on working families. It's a tax for the crime of simply going to the supermarket in your car, basically, or travelling around anywhere in your car. I mean, we have one of the highest diesel fuel duty per P in the EU. I do not think that hiking it anymore is going to actually prove good for taxpayers, and actually not going to prove for government either, because they're going to find there's a lot of public opposition for this.
I think they're absolutely spot on. It's interesting today, we've got the government rowing back on their increase in business rates. We've previously had them rowing back to some extent on farmers, before that rowing back on winter fuel, and I think I've missed 300 others there as well. I wonder if this fuel duty thing will be another row back come July.
Yeah, so that would be interesting, isn't it? So they rowed back on not on freezing it, and then they have to row back on freezing it again. There's a complete mess. But it just shows you how this Labour government operates. It brings up an idea, it pushes it out to the public naturally hates it, and then they reverse back on it a few months later. I mean, with the business rate hike things specifically, Ian, that shouldn't be massively celebrated. Not because I don't want pubs to pay those rates, but actually because it's simply a sticking plaster. This government claims to support pubs, and yet what they've done with the employment rights bill, minimum wage hikes, and employers' national insurance hikes, they're strangling the hospitality sector, including pubs, to essentially death, and they're handing this out like some sort of lifeline, when in reality it's a sticking plaster. So frankly, it's actually not good enough from the government, and the government, if it wants to save pubs, should reverse the hike it made on beer and alcohol duty, and should reverse the national insurance hike completely, and will reverse the business rates hike completely as well.
100%. Listen, great stuff, William. Nice to have you with us. Thank you, William Yarwood. He is, of course, Media Campaign Manager at the Taxpayers Alliance. And I tell you what, just to tie this in a little bit with the police story, for this reason, we're talking about DEI hiring and all the kind of diversity targets and units and all those areas, and God knows, who is it recently have just hired 2 new characters in this area? Was it the BBC or the police? It's all these big institutions. I don't know how much money you would save across the board in government circles alone, but probably millions if we just did away with the nonsense and the faff. Carol